Welcome to Two Gents, where two seasoned gents take on the hard truths of life, success, and responsibility. In a world where the rules don't bend for us, these gents believe in doing the work, owning the struggle, and inspiring others to take action. So, pull up a chair.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Two Gents Podcast. You got one of your hosts, Ron Spikes, and your other host, the person that lays all the fire out here on Two Gents Podcast, Pastor A.F. Riggins in the house. We it's a lot going on, and I know everybody. We might drift off on this day to another subject, Pastor, because there's so much going on. But I don't want people to get lost, because at the same time, while all this other stuff is going on, there's some things that they're trying to sneak through the cracks. Through the states, and they starting in Texas as far as just redistricting and gerrymandering map. It's just as important.
Yes, sir. I guess you want me to jump in? Yeah, Ron, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Donald Trump knows that if the Democrats take the House and the Senate in 2026, basically his presidency is over with, and he may be impeached again, and this time he won't beat the third impeachment. I don't believe. So what he wants to do is, Donald Trump has no decorum. He has no sense of moral obligation or anything. He knows that if a state can redistrict or set up the districts for their congressmen for every 2 years to favor one population over another one, then they can try to stack the cards in the favor of the House of Representatives. When the founders of the country, let's do a little history lesson. The founders of the country put together the bicameral legislation. Bicameral means two houses. They decided that, listen, every state is going to have representatives based on their population. So back then, you see, like Virginia was real big population. Maine at the time, which still is small in population, somewhere in between. And so what they said was, listen, this, based on population, we will have House of Representatives being voted on every 2 years. The president will be voted on every 4 years. And then to give balance in the bicameral legislation, two houses, we'll have a Senate, but every state only can have 2 senators, no matter how small, how big they are. And they'll be on a rotation to be voted on every 6 years. Okay. So with that in mind, how you try to tip the balance, because no matter where you come from in a state, you can live in Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Amarillo, El Paso, Beaumont, Shankerville, Galveston, Port Arthur, Comanche, Texas, anywhere, and run to be a senator. Anywhere. Because you're going to get 2, but they're not going to be voted on together in the same year. One will get voted on 1 year, and 2 years later, the other one will get voted on, but they'll be 6-year terms. But what's very important is these House of Representatives get voted on every 2 years. And based on the population centers is where the voters come from. Houston, the 18th, is it the 118th or the 18th district? I don't know if it's 118th, 18th district.
It's 18th district.
18th district, thank you. It goes across parts of Acres Homes and Aldine and some other parts there, predominantly African American. Sheila Jackson Lee served about 32 years. Am I right?
Correct.
Yeah, Al Green, I don't know what district he's in, but it's close to a 3rd Ward and those areas over there. 4th Ward, those areas. Predominantly African American. Served all these years. Trump looks at this. Jasmine Crockett up in Dallas, in the district that's predominantly African American. And he says, listen, I can't hold the House the way it is because he's going to lose those independent leaning or moderate Republican districts probably, because he's done something so crazy that even Elon Musk and other people are saying, we can't take this.
Mm-hmm.
So what he wants to do is go into these states, especially Republican states, because he can't do it in a Democratic state. That's why the governor of New Jersey said, hey, if he wants to do it in a Republican state, we might redistrict in New Jersey and take some Republican seats back. But it's called gerrymandering.
Yes, indeed.
That within itself is not illegal, but it's not fair. To try to draw up the lines that you can get voters to come in to a voting pool, voting booth, to try to have more Anglo-Americans to vote in that district to outnumber the African-American Hispanics. That within itself is not right. But redistricting is supposed to take place every 10 years.
Yes.
Trump trying to do it within 5 years before the 2026 election.
Yes, sir.
This is blatantly, almost can go to a lawsuit, but you know how Trump does. He'll sue you out to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court going to do what? Drag their feet on it, then finally say, well, we don't want to say nothing about it, or really, Mr. Trump didn't do this. The state itself did it, so we see no foul.
Yes, sir.
He stacked the cards against us in all kind of ways. What we're hoping is that here in Texas, that in the Democrats in Texas are saying, in the ones in the state legislature are saying, they'll skip the votes. They have no quorum, which means they'll get charged $500 a day not to be there. Now, what'll happen is if it don't have no quorum, don't go through. You know what Abbott's gonna do? Call another special election session just to try to handle it. So they're determined to try to redistrict. Now, if it does go through a couple, 2 or 3 of them, all 5 of them, the thing is then now is for us to find the voters in those districts that still vote Democratic and independent to go and still go to the polls. And that's what they're banking on, that if they can redistrict, then we can't do the work to get the people out to the polls, because the district will be harder to win. Try to get some Republicans to win. I know I went long-winded, but this is what the problem is. Trump is trying to, I can't say illegally, but we know this is not fair, and it may be unlawful, but it's not following the right protocol. We know for that. Number one, in not 10 years, and number two, gerrymandering itself is not fair. But that's how Americans go in these days. They're outnumbered. They're based on American law. If you have any Hispanic blood in you, that's why he said, are you non-Hispanic or Hispanic? You consider Hispanic. Number two, if you have 1 drop of black blood, you consider black. So that's why they're trying to do this.
Absolutely, Pastor. I'm glad you gave that definition, because I had my flashcards ready in case they wanted to know what redistricting, what it meant. But see, what they do, we call it gerrymandering, and what they call it is redistricting. Yeah. I'm tired tongued tonight. I'm sorry.
I'm the one got it out tonight.
I'm just lost. But I want to say before we get too far in this, Pastor, I had something that was quoted to me, and I want to read it to you, because I know you'll kind of get off. You'll kind of like this one. Really, you could say you really have messed up when you have a 400-year head start on everybody. You know, the Republican Party, the white race has a 400 head start on us, and they messing it up as they continue to go through the system. And that's kind of, it's not all but some. And I guess I didn't say it right, because when I heard it, it kind of resonated with me.
But let me say this. Let's be true about it. It's not really the Republican Party. It's just Anglo-Americans in whole.
Yeah, and that was his point.
Republican Party didn't come to assistance to Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And the Democrats was already there, Democrat Whigs.
Yeah.
All the way until Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
The Republicans mostly, Woodrow Wilson, let me say, which one? Woodrow Wilson, the one that let the KKK march downtown in World War I, march downtown Washington, D.C., I think Woodrow Wilson. From Lincoln to Woodrow Wilson, Republicans were viewed pro African Americans. Because Lincoln was a Republican and they freed the slaves. The first congressman from Mississippi and all that stuff before the KKK showed up and they tried to scale back Reconstruction, they all were black Republican congressmen and senators back then. But the Anglo-American racism went from the Democratic Whig Party till when JFK ran against Nixon. JFK tipped the Democratic Party towards Anglo-Americans. Watch this. He got assassinated, and guess who sealed the deal with us? From Texas. Lyndon B. Johnson. He the one that wheeled and deal with Martin Luther King Jr. That night when they put all them dogs and water holes on them kids down in Birmingham and made the evening news, Bull Connor. Spraying them with the water holes and dogs biting them and all that stuff. He came on and made a presidential address that night.
Yes, sir.
And said, and we shall overcome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so nowadays, Nixon, Reagan, Trump, that whole concept of MAGA, Make America Great Again. That's a statement come out of the KKK area. Era is what I'm trying to say. Back during that time, all that they are 40 years, I can say, ahead of us as a race. But no matter what party it is, whether it was the Democratic Whigs or the Dixiecrats, remember the Dixiecrats? That's what's his name out of George Wallace and all them Dixiecrats, and later repented after he ended up in a wheelchair and say, I'm not a racist anymore, I want to be a Christian. You know what I'm saying? But there was a Dixiecrat. They were the racists then. The Democrats, Dixiecrats, they're from the South, Democrats. Lyndon B. Johnson broke that. He broke that mentality and brought us the African Americans, and now most Hispanics into that party, and the Republicans flipped back to the mentality like Trump. We're gonna make America great again, and that's where we have that problem at. I know I come out of here.
Pastor, you went into it ahead of time. You didn't been out there doing this for. It doesn't take that much to get Pastor into it because he's always studying. He's been in history basically all his life. He teaches school, and this is stuff that he covers on a daily basis. But sometimes we get so far into it. I didn't want to interrupt Pastor, but I thought Byron Glass would have came in by now, but he didn't come in. So I just want to tell you, Byron, we miss you. I know that you might be busy, and I understand. Can't nobody else pay your bills, but I just want to let Pastor get his thoughts out, because I know how hard it is once you get on the roll and you kind of going in a direction. I don't want you to think we forgot about you, Byron. We just got right into the show tonight. It's kind of important because it's so much. And when I say it's so much going on national media and around the states and even outside of the country, the president that ran away from the country to get away from answering questions about what's going on with Epstein and all the rest of that. But even while that's going on out there in the general public, they're still trying to maneuver behind our backs and play chess. And if they get this through Texas, and the real reason why I say Texas, and I brought it up where we had Texas tonight, because if they can get this through Texas, how many other states do you think they can branch out to? Because he challenged the governor to do this. And trust me, when he challenged him, he put it directly in the Congress, the state's Congress, the state Senate, and they're working on it. I can show you examples of what they're doing. And it ain't people just like us. It's other people out there. And as we get into this, Pastor, I want to show a couple of videos from that meeting that they had up in Dallas this weekend.
Okay, go ahead.
But I don't want to get too far all the way into it without answering one question. So I'm gonna bring this up to the stage. A lot of people don't know what gerrymandering is. They don't have a clue. So I don't never get a chance to bring my flashcards. By the time I think about my flashcards, it's at the end of the show. So I'm gonna bring them up a little bit early, Pastor, before we get into our PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, sir.
So just kind of Pastor just kind of explain to you basically what gerrymandering was. It's a way that they manipulate electoral districts and boundaries and favor one political party. It doesn't matter who's in office, Pastor. You know that. It's they do it, both of them do it.
Yes.
To favor who's ever in office.
Yes.
Oh, you still reading?
Oh, no. I know. No, I'm just letting you talk. Yes, sir. And you're right.
Okay, so both of them still
They're both done it. Democrats have tried when Bill Clinton was there. There's some gerrymandering went on because he was trying to stave off how they, what's his name was who was the House of Representatives? The like a King Jefferson is right now. Who's the guy? Newt Gingrich.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Newt Gingrich was the what you call it? The Speaker of the House. I couldn't get it out.
For the Republican Party.
Was the Speaker of the House, and man, that was giving Bill Clinton the blues. But two things happened. When he got in trouble with Monica Lewinsky, the Republican boys knew that they had stuff in their closet too. They impeached him, but they didn't bring him down. Right? Second thing, they balanced the budget, and Bill Clinton left the office with a surplus.
Absolutely. That was one of his claims to fame.
Right. But you know how he did it? He did it because he had there was a Republican Congress. Joe Scarborough was in that. He talks about it all the time. Newt Gingrich, they held Bill Clinton. See, the way the founders designed it, they designed that you should have a two-party system working together. Either the House of Representatives working with the president, he could be a different party, or the Senate working with, they could be a different party, and that way they can work together for the good of everybody. But what they're doing now is sum zero.
Yes,
sum
sir.
zero means they come in, and if you, just like when Biden had the House and the Senate for the first couple of years, and everything he want to get passed, Obama the same way. Everything want to get passed. Trump the same way. Everything want to get passed, he want to get passed. And then the rest of it, he's just a lame duck. If they flipped it, now they holding his hand, but he can't do anything. They're holding him back. So it's supposed to be designed to do work together. But sometimes gerrymandering is what they're trying to hold all the power in one party, and it's not good for the country that way.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, one of the things that I'll say is they did tie his hands by the actions that he did. And he basically gave me the old yellow, as they say, with the actions that he took. But when was the term gerrymandering first coined? It was first used in 1812. 1812. We're going to go through these pretty fast, Pastor. We ain't going to. Who was responsible for the redistricting plan that led to the term gerrymander? Massachusetts Governor Elbridge, Gerry, signed the redistricting plan that led to the term of gerrymander. So that's where he got his name from. The Governor Elbridge of Massachusetts. We're going to go on, Pastor. Whenever you want to jump in, it's all right. How did the word gerrymandering originate? A news cartoonist compared one oddly shaped district to a salamander, combining it with Governor Gerry's name to create the word gerrymander.
Let me explain what happens.
Go ahead.
He said that. Let me tell you why he said that. To redistrict, they drew lines in which they found populations that favored what they wanted to vote, and change, instead of having people that like when you're ready to vote, you should vote with everybody in your area. They drew the lines to make it look like a salamander. The slice of the population to vote the way they wanted to vote. Put that word salamander together with Gerry, and they got gerrymander. So when you have these gerrymander districts, it might look like Acres Home and parts of Homestead area and all that stuff is all part of 18th district. If they go in there and gerrymander it, they're gonna redraw it to make it look oddly shaped, look crazy, to try to include some people from maybe Summerwood, some people from maybe off of Wilson Road and Beltway 8, maybe try to push back towards some parts of Spring and try to make that thing look crazy.
Yes, sir.
And call that a different type of district to get enough Anglo-American voters in there.
And we did the same thing with the 18th congressional district, but anyway, we're gonna get to it. I'm gonna show it to y'all in just a minute.
Yes, sir.
The gerrymandering exists before the coin was turned. Yes, the practice existed. For example, in 1788, Patrick Henry and the Anti-Federalists in Virginia allegedly manipulated the district lines to prevent James Madison from winning a congressional seat.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the reason why I like doing this is because I want us to be able to go back and you can look it up. If you review the tape, you can kind of get educated as you go through. How did gerrymandering evolved in the 19th and 20th century? It became more systematic with the rise of political machines and improved map technology. You want to comment on that, Pastor?
No, this is what we did right now. We're in the 21st century, but in the 19th century, which was in the 1800s, late 1800s, after the Civil War, 20th century, 1900s, they start finding out how to use technology, how to use maps, know how to clone in and through the Census Bureau and through other methods to find out who lives where, to try to create districts to favor one party or another.
Yeah, and they took that statistical data and they combined it with mapping, and what they were able to find out based on the census, the data that was coming out of the census, where majority of the people was, and then they could take that map and manipulate it, the data to show whatever they wanted to show. And Harris County is a good example of that. And we're going to get to that, but I want to get through these questions. What was the significance of the U.S. Supreme Court cases Baker versus Carr, 1962, and Reynolds versus Sims in 1964 regarding gerrymandering? The cases established one person, one vote principle, but did not outright ban partisan gerrymandering.
Yeah, so here's what happened.
Okay.
In the midst of gerrymandering, using statistics, they were trying to say, wait, if so many people live in a certain district we drew up, then when the votes come in, why did so-and-so win by only a certain percentage or lose by a certain percentage? And so they were trying to use that to say, listen, we didn't gerrymander this district. It ain't no reason why the other person should have won.
Mm-hmm.
But in court cases, they didn't touch gerrymandering, but it did touch this. One person, one vote.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go in and sign, that's your one vote.
Yeah.
So they can't look at statistics and look at, well, we had 500 extra Anglo-Americans, but the candidate lost by 900 points after we gerrymandered. Because you know why? The people didn't go out there and vote, and people who did vote, one person, one vote.
Absolutely.
That's the antidote to the gerrymandering.
How is modern gerrymandering typically carried out? Modern gerrymandering is often enabled by computers algorithms. We just talked about that optimize district shapes for political advantage. So if you go out and take a census and you take a map and you combine that data from the census and the map, you pretty much know how to rig the map to show where those people are where certain type people that you want to vote are staying. So you can take that map and as Pastor said earlier, and turn it into a salamander, or you can turn it into a big old square, or you can turn it any kind of way that makes the map in favor of whatever political party that's in charge at that time.
But that's key. Let me put something scary into it now.
Huh?
AI.
Yeah. Pastor, I sent you something about AI, but I'm gonna talk to you probably after we get through all of this.
But AI shows up and he'll put that district together. You really got a problem.
Yeah. What did the Supreme Court rule in Rucho versus Common Cause in 2019? The court ruled that the federal courts could not bipartisan gerrymander, leaving the issue largely to state reforms. That's what's happening in Texas right now, Pastor. They're leaving it to the state, and Trump knew that he couldn't do it, so he tasked the governor to do it.
Yeah. That's why the governor of New Jersey, who's predominant Democrat, said, okay, nobody got to task me to do it. If y'all do it in Texas, I might do it in New Jersey as a counteract. If y'all lose five, if we lose 5 seats in Texas, let's see if we can find 5 seats in New Jersey.
And they can do that all across the nation too, perhaps, can't they? That's the fear of changing maps, having the ability to change maps, and what Trump is doing is basically just saying the hell with the law. He just making it. He gonna change it to his favor. Mm-hmm. He's trying to change everything to his favor, and eventually, as pastors say, if we do this, every state in the union gonna be able to do this. So I don't know if we can stop it, Pastor, but we need to look at the long-term picture of it.
Yeah, I mean, but the point of it is, if they left it to the states, that's the legal thing now. What he tried to do is find Republican governors to get on his side to try to do it. Texas is the biggest. California and New York are the only 2 states bigger than California than Texas for the I think we got 36 representatives. California got 56 or 58.
Yeah.
New York has about like how many New York have? New York has a little bit more than Texas has, I believe. Because that's how you get the electoral map too, based on how many the population centers. And so that means that's how many representatives we have, that number of the electoral votes. So he knows Texas is a big state. Can he siphon out 5 votes out of Texas, all he wants? And because the margin is so slim, I think the Republicans are holding how much? They're winning by how many? They have 4 more than the Democrats in the House right now?
I'm not for sure. I have to Google it. I wish Glass was here so we could have an extra hand on tape, on deck.
Right.
I can go. We'll find it out by the next show, and I'll just include it, Pastor.
I'll look at it now.
Okay. Why does gerrymandering remain contentious issue in United States politics today? Because it involves the manipulating electoral maps, as Pastor just got through saying, to favor certain political groups. And that's the reason why I say it's not just Republicans, it's Democrats and Republicans. You have to look at it, and it's affecting the fairness of elections and representation. Here's something else that it does, Pastor. If somebody just heard us talking about how they gerrymander maps and stuff like that, you know what the first thing that they probably would say is, my vote. Why would I go vote if they doing all that behind the scenes?
Right. So there are 219 Republicans.
Okay.
212 Democrats, and 4 seats are vacant. One of the seats that's vacant is who?
Sylvester Turner, since he passed away in 18 congressional.
And Abbott will not run the election, so they can have one less Democratic vote in time they vote in the House.
That's just one person. That's just one seat that they don't have to contend with all the way up until November, because he said he's not going to hold. He's not going to allow that to go to vote until
November 2026.
Yeah, November. So that what it means.
November 2026. Not this November. November next year.
What, Pastor? Say again?
November 2026. Are they gonna vote this year, you think?
Nah, I don't. I thought I heard him say they was gonna vote after they was gonna let it go to the elect. He was gonna let it go after the election cycle was over, after midterm elections. I could be wrong, but
so midterm election is 2026.
Yeah.
Not this year, but next year.
Yeah, you're right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they got candidates here in Houston that's ready to run, but they won't give them a chance. They really won't. I just want to play this real quick, because I think sometimes we get caught up.
Of the seats in Congress are controlled by white votes, 73%. If this proposal goes through, if you just move the 4 districts that are in the letter, that means 84% would be controlled by white voters. And if you add 5, as the president has indicated, that would mean 87%. So whites are 40% of the population, already controlled 73% of the seats. And we're talking about moving it to 84, 87%. If that doesn't tell brown people and black people that they don't matter, that really kind of does. If right now, as we sit here now.
brother.
That was the same thing, Pastor.
Yeah, but
Go
you
ahead.
see, that one thing that was up there. 40% of the population is what?
White?
Used to be long time ago when it all started, 80 and 90% of the population. Because remember, slaves were considered 3/5 of a human being anyway.
Yep.
And only white men could vote.
Yep.
Then slaves got to vote, but they couldn't vote because why? Grandfather clause. Grandfather was a slave, you can't vote. Can you read? You can't vote. You can't pay the poll tax, you can't vote. Now, flip the script. African Americans make up about what? 40 to 45% of the United States, I guess? Come on.
You think it's that high, Pastor?
I'm gonna look it up. If
Okay, while you looking it up, I'm gonna go through the same.
40% of the population is white, right? The
Yep.
rest of it Anglo Americans, Hispanic Americans.
I think he was a representative from Texas, though. I think he was a representative. He wasn't in the House, I don't think.
Okay, so he's saying that 40% of Texas is white.
Yeah.
So 60% of Texas is what? Brown and black. What I'm trying to say, the same principle apply all across the United States. They have lost the numbers about who they are, percentage-wise, counting the population, but they want to still control the country. That's why you have what's called oligarchs in Russia. You could be the smallest amount in population, but have the most money and have all the power. That's what they're trying to do in the United States. And
they try. Go ahead, Pastor. I'm gonna let you look that up. And as I go through this, I just want to bring this, tell y'all we're getting ready to go into a PowerPoint slide. And the only reason why we're doing this PowerPoint slide is to show you that it's not just Republicans, it's Democrats too. And this may be the reason why we have a problem. Democrats have a problem translating their message or bringing it across, because they don't sit down and break it down to the average person that's out there that's voting. They try to put people in groups, and then they try to pass the message on. It's almost like if you take this Epstein issue, why this Epstein issue is going on in national media and it's drawing your attention. And I'm not saying that none of that is not worth your attention, but under the table, so to speak, in Texas, this is what they're doing. And and if they do it in Texas, they're gonna manipulate the map. They're gonna manipulate the circumstances all over the U.S. And why they doing this under the table? We need to be aware of it. We can't just focus over here. They saying look here, look here, look here, look here, and not here. Why they go about their business? We would sink as a nation if we just looked at everything that they wanted us to look at without looking anywhere else.
Look at Texas population.
Go ahead.
Texas has over 30 million people. Hispanics are the largest racial and ethnic group, making up over 40% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
Non-Hispanic whites make up just under 40%. African Americans, 11.6%. Asians, 5.1%. Multiracial, 3.1%. So you see why there's a fight against Hispanic Americans. They have outnumbered every group. Mm-hmm. But let me give you a newsflash. They were here first. Native Americans who married Spaniards from Spain were called mestizo. Mestizos became Mexico. They were here. Their people was here first. I digress. Yeah, you have to educate people, because if you don't educate the people that are listening to our station, what happens is they go out there and we don't understand how we got here, and we understand that Trump's messed up on the national level and all the rest of that, and they focus your attention there. And then when they get your attention there, they slowly doing this under the table stuff behind your back. And if we don't watch this, we're in for a world of hurt, because if this can change the outlook of the way the United States the Congress is made up, the way the Senate is made up, the way everybody votes, and the way electoral representatives are selected. All of this is important because of what's going on in Texas right now. And he said it. He didn't hide it. That's one thing I can say about that guy. He don't hide what he's doing. He'll tell you what he wants you to do. And if you're a Republican like Abbott, you're gonna try to follow through because you think it makes sense for you to even get reelected.
it's just we need to look at this, and it's critical that we take a look at this. While everybody else, we have to look at this and take into account what's going on a national level at the same time. Pastor, am I right?
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. All politics are local. It all starts in your community.
Yeah. Because if you don't, you think, hey, I just vote for a president and I'm good. Byron Glass, I hope everything's going all right. I see we got some listeners out there, so you might be listening in on your headphones or whatever, or you made one of those trips down to the city or the capital of Louisiana and you was on stage. So we hope that something's going on in your best interest out there, and we miss you, brother. So using fairness to justify gerrymandering, we're gonna do an introduction. We're gonna unpack it. We're gonna unpack the political theater, Republicans and Democrats' tactics, political wars, party wars, and political voter decline. And that's important because voters get frustrated when they find out stuff that like this that's going on. And like I say, they ask, why should I go vote? It ain't gonna make a difference, but you have to vote. We're gonna kind of close it out with a conclusion of both parties and use the path. We're gonna go on this. Gerrymandering is defined as redistricting, drawing electoral districts. This is a Louisiana map. I brought this in. I was hoping Glass was here, but Pastor's also from Louisiana, and he can kind of look at this map and tell you how they try to gerrymander based on how this map looks. You got two majority black districts here, number 1 and number 1, but most of the rest of this is all white districts. Pastor, I don't know which one of these do you fall in? Did you fall in as a child?
As a child, the purple.
The purple?
See on the edge right here?
Yeah, I see it, number 3.
On the border, Louisiana and Texas. I live 4 miles from Texas and 5 miles from my high school. I live closer to Texas than I did. I lived in a black community called Toomey, right on the border by the Sabine River.
Wow, you on that side of the river, and my family's from Bonware on the other side of the river.
Yes, sir, right. Yes, sir, right there on the edge. And so
right there on the edge, yeah. So now, they give you the illusion that it's fair. Both parties give that illusion that it's fair. It's only fair if you're on the receiving end. It's only fair if you represent the people that's within that district. When you take that district and divide it just to make it whatever you want to, that's not fair. Am I right, Pastor?
Yes, sir. Now, is the blue the two blacks?
Yeah, that's the 2 district, and it shows how they divided it.
Now you see how know what it includes, huh? New Orleans, Baton Rouge, because it's where most of the black people concentrated in a big concentration in Louisiana.
Yeah, that's what. That's
why number 1 is up there. The number 1 is closest to Mississippi.
Oh, okay. Got you, man. I'm sorry. I did not pick it up because I heard it ringing in the background. Let me get it set up so I can do it. That's Byron Glass calling into the show.
Go ahead, Byron.
Go ahead and I'm gonna bring this up. If you could, can you see that, or do I have to read it and then you can comment on it?
My computer screen. Gerrymandering redefined. Number 1. Redistrict strong electoral colleges. But I want to legend to the map. What's the red? What's the yellow? What's the purple? What's the green? What's the aqua? What's the blue? What's the legend to the map at?
You know what you're doing, don't you?
Yeah.
I thought that you and Byron Glass would be able to do it. It didn't have a legend when
I know the places, but I don't know what the red means, what the yellow means, what the purple means. I know the places. I mean,
yeah, I'm just saying they didn't have that. I just used the map for you and Byron. It's another map as we go further. But
the red has Monroe in it. The yellow has Alexandria in it.
Let me try to get this telephone set up while you talking.
Right. Yes. Natchitoches is in the yellow. Like I said, the purple got Lake Charles all the way over to Lafayette in it. The light green area is dealing with some parts above Baton Rouge and the areas right there, Hammond, Louisiana, stuff like that. That blue has some Baton Rouge and a lot, all in New Orleans and stuff, all the way out there to the Mississippi, the Mississippi River Evolve and all that stuff. That blue at the top is close to Mississippi, So I know that it has something to do, you know, with the heavy black population. By let me see, by Gulfport, Mississippi, and places like that, Biloxi and Gulfport. That green, I don't know what that green is. Number 6. I don't know what that green is. As far as I got
let me get that out of there.
Louisiana right there. But if I knew what the colors meant, it helped me out more. But it's showing you though that even Louisiana, you see how those districts are drawn up crazy. How you gonna have a district go all the way from in that red one, go all the way from like Alexandria, all the way up to Monroe, and up the top of there by Vicksburg, Mississippi, and all that, Rayville and all that, and then come all the way across back to Shreveport and call it a district. That's crazy. It looked like a seahorse.
Absolutely. And then you look at that blue, Pastor. Look at that blue. Even in the blue, it has, even in the green, it has a little bit of blue, just a little bit. So what does I'm curious, what does that white represent in between there?
Oh, I think that's no number on that. That's water.
Oh, okay.
There's no number on that. See, I think there's water or something.
Yeah.
Lake or something like that. So what happens is you see how that blue, they try to divide in the middle of that blue with that green because they try to draw out another district, or probably for another Republican. Because I believe both of them blues are Democrats. Okay.
Yeah. So I use Harris County as a tactic of the Democrats' map because it kind of, as you say, salamandering. The 18th congressional district of the United States of the House of Representatives includes much of the inner city Houston and surrounding area. It has been a part of the downtown Houston district since 1972. The district seat is currently vacant, which Pastor brought up earlier with Sylvester Turner, and Governor Abbott refuses to appoint somebody in there.
Hey, Ron.
Baron is asking if you're out there, you can call the number.
He actually put the number up. He asking us to display the number for everybody. He's asking us if we keep the number up on the screen.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's possible or not. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it up after we get through with this. I got the number. The number is 832-856-5964. If you want to call in, you're welcome to call in. I got it up. I got it connected, but we're trying to go through these slides. As we go through these slides, I'll put it back up. The number is 832-856-5964. Please feel free to call it because Glass is going to try to call it also. He's busy, but he's still trying to call in. He texts me in the background. I just happened to look at my phone.
Yeah.
State of Louisiana 2020, through a minimum change, the more likely outcome, Republicans would, at worst, retain 4-2 edge in the Louisiana delegation.
Yes, they only got 6. They only have 6 districts. You see.
Yeah.
While Texas has 30.
You see the change that they did, Pastor.
Huh?
New majority black congressional districts. The state new congressional map shifts the demographics of the 6th congressional district from the whiter Republican stronghold base in the South Baton Rouge and its suburbs to a mostly black district.
I told you. Yeah.
Now this is Harris County, the first thing that we was talking about, and it shows you how the 18th congressional district starts part of the way downtown. I think it's got part of 3rd Ward and stuff like that in it. Then it meanders all the way up to Summerwood, as Pastor was saying, all up through Cypress and everything else. If you just look at the 18th congressional district, how did they come up with that? Did they just take away from it, Pastor? By the 29th district and the 38th district, maybe the 18th had more than the 29th district at one time.
Here's what I believe.
Here's what
I believe.
Huh?
Acres Homes is in there, right?
Yeah.
3rd Ward, right?
Yeah.
It don't go out to Cypress. That's not out to Cypress. That's out.
Yeah,
on the
that's
edge of
290. That highway that's running through the 18th congressional district, that's 290. So that must be, I can't think of that area over there.
Jersey Village, coming back to Jersey Village.
And then it's coming over to Acres Home and it's going up.
You're right. What they hauled it out, 29, I think it's the Heights. Gentrification.
Yeah, so they've been
they ran African Americans out of the Heights and get a 29th district to them.
Yeah. Byron, if you're out there, you can call the number 832-856-5964. And I'm sorry I didn't answer last time, but if it rings this time, I get it. It didn't ring on my phone. Now, Pastor, this was that map that we was looking at earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This was 2020, and this is what they changed it to.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I seen that was different was they changed four over here and they put 5 over here.
Yes.
But it's still basically drawn. They made a couple of changes in the purple area. It looked like it's a little bit different. Then they put 4 over there, and it takes less area, but it's basically the same. What I'm looking at is basically the same map. How about
no? Well, 4 is less area with more people. See, 4 got Monroe. 4 got Monroe. It has 4 got Monroe and Shreveport. Well, originally 4 just had Shreveport.
Okay. You
see, originally 4 just had Shreveport. Now you got Monroe and Shreveport on that side. So it looked bigger on the first map with less people, rural areas. Small on the second map with concentrated populations.
Yep, and that number 2 got bigger on the second map over there.
Yeah, because you're dealing with Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
Yep. So that's part of that. That was a good example of gerrymandering. It don't look like much on the map, but as Pastor was saying, it's majority of the blacks in those areas that they try to cut out and they make it look like it's fair, like it's fairness out there, but it's not actual fairness because they redistrict to their own. Louisiana has a new majority black congressional district. U.S. Republican Garrett Graves of Baton Rouge, a Republican who has represented the 6th district since 2015, isn't running for re-election after the state lawmakers redrew the boundaries of his district. The state new congressional map shifts the demographics of the 6th district from a whiter Republican stronghold based in South Baton Rouge and its suburbs to a mostly black district that spans from North Baton Rouge to Shreveport.
Mm-hmm. So that's that red then.
Yeah.
That's that red. That red got that red then is blacks then.
Yeah, they changed it. They got the rich.
Let me tell you what's going on. Because they're correct. And Barron lives up there in Columbia. Bastrop, Monroe, all them areas up there, mostly black people. Shreveport, a lot of black people. Baton Rouge, a lot of black people. So that red. So you remember now Louisiana had a Democratic governor. Do they still have one now? Or is it a Republican governor?
I'm not for sure. We have to. That's why I did it, because you was asked to talk about it. Not here. I hope he calls in. I apologize, Glass. That's my fault.
Yeah, they switch back and forward between Republican and Democratic governors. But what I'm saying is, so what I actually was saying was wrong as far as why they did it that way. They did it that way to favor African Americans. That red thing going all the way up there at the top, that 4th district going all the way up the side is Monroe, and going all the way back to Shreveport, going down to Baton Rouge. That's predominantly African Americans.
Yeah, and again, Byron Glass, I'm apologize, but we're gonna keep moving. A Democratic Party analysis. With the Democratic Party, Jeffries recently did an interview about gerrymandering. And here's the thing, Pastor. Democrats rely on slogans. Jeffries' performance shows a tendency to prioritize slogans over meaningful policy and discussions. When he's out there in the public, I can't get where he's trying to go with it, Pastor. Can you? I mean, he's in that position, and I just can't follow him sometimes when he gets in front of the camera. I
think he's a puppet.
Huh?
I think he's a puppet. He's a puppet.
He must be.
What I think is that Pelosi and them put him up, say, you the new face of the Democratic Party, you the next generation. But the real new face would have been AOC or someone like her that was willing to go for broke, Be radical. Like MAGA will be radical on one side, we need to be radical on our side. So Jeffrey says all of the right stuff with no substance. Like I said, when the big beautiful bill was there, he could have spent 8 hours in the back room cutting deals to get those Republican votes, then 8 hours in front of the cameras making a speech.
Yes.
So that's he's not politically savvy. He's a puppet. And I mostly vote Democratic ways on the principle because I'm an independent. But that's why I became an independent, because I seen so many Democrats who did not have it together, and I definitely don't go to Republican platforms. So I agree with most of the Democrat platform, but the leaders who go out there, the last one that really did anything was Obama. And the next one that would really do anything would be Michelle Obama if she decided to. Let me say it again. The last one. Biden, that's what's wrong, because Biden didn't do what he's supposed to do. He did some things, but not enough, and he lied and got us in trouble by saying he wasn't going to run, but decided to run.
Yep.
So there you have almost, but almost don't count, Brenda said. Almost Harris. Look like she knows what she's doing. Almost, but almost don't count. The last one, and he got out of office in 2016, was Obama that knew what he was doing. Savvy, politically savvy, could back up what he's saying, has substance, plays chess, not checkers. You think he's losing, but all the while he's winning? They call it leading from behind. He don't let them rush him. He's the last one. And so King Jeffrey is just a mouthpiece. He's a puppet.
Absolutely, Pastor. And you know, one of the things I never want us to get caught up in, because it's going to take everybody to change this thing. And I was listening to something. I want to bring up, before we go any further in this, I want to bring this up because you need to hear this. You need to hear this and try to get an understanding of reason. It's not just us out here in this fight by ourselves. There's other people out there that's trying to support us.
Baggage handlers, ramp agents, mechanics, and other ground service employees at major airlines in the DFW Metroplex and throughout the state. I am here today not just as a union leader, but as a proud Texan and a community advocate who has been on the ground walking through these neighborhoods and organizing workers and standing with working families in the city of Fort Worth. Today I speak out against this dangerous redistricting process that threatens to divide our communities and deny us our voice. In 2021, redistricting was done after the 2020 census. Texas gained 2 million residents. Roughly 90% of that growth were from communities of color. 2 new congressional districts were created. You would expect that the 2 new districts created would be representing communities of color. But instead, 2 majority white districts were created. Even though they said that race was not a deciding.
I didn't want to stay there too long. Basically, what I want to do, and I think I got it illustrated, that he was a union representative of the area in which we're talking, and he has many different members within this union.
He's in Fort Worth with Jasmine Crockett.
Huh?
He's from Fort Worth, where they're trying to take away.
Yeah, he's up there with Jasmine Crockett, and they're really struggling up there because they were the ones. I wish I would have had that lady. I thought that I had her comments on there, which was the county judge from that area, and she was talking about how they was trying to redistrict. But that just goes to show you that they doing this. They trying to do it under the table, but they're not getting away with it. And here's the number: 832-856-5964. If you want to call in, you're welcome to call in. Again, I don't know how many times I'm gonna say I'm sorry, but Democrats, they don't have good policy focus. They act like they're not focused. The Democratic Party is criticizing for lacking focus.
+1832. Call from
B. Hello? I got a call, Pastor. I'm trying to get him on. Caller, if you're out there, just say something. Hey, caller, can you hear me? They hung up. I had them on, but they hung up.
Wow.
I had them on, Pastor, but they hung up on us. But anyway, they just don't. They lack policies, and in the party vulnerabilities, the Democratic Party is seen as a vulnerable. We're gonna try it again, Pastor.
1-833-285-65964. Call from.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go
to
ahead.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Go ahead, caller. We got you. Can you hear me?
Did you press 1? You sent him the voicemail. That's why. Don't
Call
press 1.
from.
Don't press
Hey,
1.
I could hear him. He didn't. I don't know what's going on. Try it again, caller. We're gonna one last time.
1832. Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press
Press
2.
1.
I press
Hello?
1.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, caller, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me? I cannot. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Pastor, say you can hear him.
I can hear you, sir.
I don't know what's going on.
Tell the caller when he calls, you can hear
I can hear you.
him. No, say it right now. Caller, call back in. We can hear you.
Yeah, caller, we can hear you. Just talk. We can hear you. While you waiting to call back in, we're gonna go to this next slide.
Right,
Yes,
get that worked out. I don't know
Jeffrey
what's going on.
condemns the Republicans for redistricting while backing Democrats. We're gonna try it again, Pastor.
1-833-285. Call from.
Hello?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press.
Hey, caller, we can hear you. Talk, caller. I can hear you. If you can't hear me, I can hear you. Just start talking.
I think it's a guy from last week.
Huh?
I think it's a guy from last week.
It sounded like from last week. It did. I don't know why we can't hear him though.
No, why he can't hear you?
Yeah, because everything is set up just like it was last week. I'm scared to change it.
Press 1-833. Call from.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
To accept, press 1. To
Look at
send a
the screen.
voicemail,
We can
press
hear.
2.
We can hear you. Caller, just start talking. If you can hear me, if you're looking at your computer or wherever you're at, just start
Call from.
talking.
Can you hear me?
To accept, press 1. To send a
Hey,
voicemail,
Ron,
press 2.
I did
Right.
press 1.
text that phone number and tell him you can hear him. Text that phone number and tell him you
Okay.
can hear him. Just
I'm gonna do
talk.
that while you talk, Pastor. Can
Yeah.
you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. So
Okay.
Jeffrey is talking about that this is going to be hypocrisy because he's looking at the Republicans didn't like it when the Democrats called themselves was doing it gerrymandering, but now they want to use gerrymandering for Trump. Not based on the local community saying they wanted to redistrict, but that the president of the United States, who knows that the federal government can't get involved in redistrict, but try to send the state to redistrict. So it says that Jefferson condemned Republicans for redistricting while backing Democratic methods showcasing hypocrisy. He supports the Democratic redistricting tactics change his credibility, damages his credibility among critics. Republicans employ similar strategies that Jefferson criticized, highlighting a double standard. Republicans' actions are viewed as politically motivated, affecting their integrity perception. So even though Jefferson had favored redistricting for Democrats in the past, what we do know now, the Democrats are saying, hey, don't cry. I mean, Republicans say, don't cry about this, Jefferson. You did this in the past. But we know that the Republicans are doing this motivated by Trump to try to hold the Congress, to keep him from having a check on what he's doing. And that's why we're in this situation right now. I hope that Ron got the text out to that guy and let him know just to talk. We can hear him.
I did. I got it out to him. I had a little senior moment there because what you gave me instructions on, I forgot I could just go to his number and text him directly after he made a call to me. So I did it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Democrats versus Republican communication. Communication effectiveness. Democrats struggle to effectively communicate their policies. And that's the reason why they don't have anybody following them right now, because they don't really put out any policies. Nobody want to stand up They want to get in the middle, and they don't want to lean left or right. They really don't have nobody out there. I take that back. AOC does a good job of putting her points out there and making them, but I can guarantee you that the senior Democrats out there are not listening to her. And when she talks, they don't like her. I guess they can't control her, Pastor.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. They can't control you. They don't want you out there because they want to have a controlled situation. And you can't right now. You got to fight fire with fire. If MAGA and Trump is out of control, we need to get out of control, or the Democrats can get out of control.
Yeah, and they're relying on talking points. Democrats often rely on talking points, which limits their engagement. You know, it's okay to have good talking points, but at some point you got to challenge the other party with facts. You got to put in some facts and put in some time and find out where their weakness is. This Epstein thing, I'm disappointed because I don't see that many Democrats jumping on board about that. Even though this is about gerrymandering, I don't see that many Democrats saying, "Hey, we need to look into this." I mean, some subcommittees tried to.
Some subcommittees tried to, but not enough. And what they like the fact is they're saying that the media is saying that MAGA is mad. So they're trying to let MAGA bring Trump down from the inside out, and then they pounce on the kill.
Yeah, and how is that working?
You know how whenever the she lions go out there and take down the wildebeest,
Call from.
and then the hyenas show up and try to take care of the kill.
We can hear you, caller.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
We can hear you, caller. Can you hear me? Even if you can't talk, just say something. Hey, caller, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Yes.
Talk.
Caller, we're waiting on you to say something. He can't.
Hey, this is old. Oh, awesome. Great. All right, great. So I think there must have been a delay on my phone versus what I'm watching on the screen. Can you hear me? You can hear me now, though. So it's awesome. Yeah, so thanks for picking up my call. You still there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, God. Okay, great. So this is Sean. I spoke to you guys last week. So now I've been listening today, and I've had just a comment. I heard the comments about Jeffries today about the talking points, talking head is where it was presented. And I got to say that it was hard to hear because here it is. He may not be perfect, but neither was this person who was elected president, who was a piece of POS, if you ask me, who was nothing but talking points, nothing but no substance, but it worked. So what I'm hearing is that when you guys are talking, what I'm hearing is that a person who's doing something very similar, according to what you're saying, but you're bashing them for it. And so it's kind of hard to say, are you pro-Democrat or are you pro-Republican? Now, I understand being independent, but it's hard to hear because the person who got elected as president is worse than this guy in every sense of the word. And it feels like you guys are holding Democrats to a standard. And again, I understand the independent thing, that these other people aren't even reaching. And I hear a lot of bashing on these guys. And I think you should be more supporting, even if it's not ideal, it's still better than the person we got in office today. So I'm only saying it's hard to hear you guys talk about that because you guys bash a lot and you guys are very intelligent, but it's hard to hear you guys bashing when we're up against this person who's in office right now, who's worse than anyone we could ever think about. And he got in office on talking points alone. No policies that are working that I can think of, maybe a couple, but that wasn't strong. He backed out of a lot of them. But that's okay because people still voted for him. So I guess I just wanted to voice my opinion on that. It sounds like you guys are just bashing, and you've been doing it. I've been calling in. I've been hearing it a lot. They're not doing this. Their message ain't clear. Yeah, it's not. So give us a message. Give us something. Give us direction. You're right. We are lacking. But bashing and saying where we suck doesn't help. That's all I want to say.
Hey, Sean, thank you for the call, man. I thank you for your passion, too.
I can barely hear you. I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. Go ahead.
Thank you for your call and thank you for your passion too. Also, thank you for your call and thank you for your passion on that.
Yes, sir.
Now here is what.
Yes, sir.
I was a lifelong Democrat until 2008. I guess my frustration is that the Republicans don't play fair, and so I'm not trying to bash Jeffries personally, but I'm saying that the Democrats got to come with something. If they're gonna come with playing dirty ball, so to speak, within and everything they're doing dirty ball, even though it's not illegal, but it's the way they're going about it. That sometimes Jefferson come in a little too weak in their approach. I'm saying it because I want to push him. I'm not going against him. I vote most of the Democratic policies most of the time. I want to push him to do something that's great. Like when he had that 8-hour speech, I was wishing that maybe old school Tip O'Neill and those guys back when they during Reagan time, they was in the back room somewhere trying to work out some votes from the Republicans to go over to their side, rather than being in the front making a speech all the time and nobody's not trying to change the Republicans. If you're going to make the speech, have somebody in the back room working for you. That's what I'm getting at. I'm getting at that there's layers to this. There's has to be some depth. Because see, really Trump is just a mouthpiece. He's doing talking points. We know who's running everything. Project 2025, that the Heritage, whatever the Heritage Foundation is. That's who's making all the policies. Trump is just the face of it. Now, Jeffries can't just be the face of something like Trump. He needs somebody in the background, or they need enough of people making policies that when he's making the talking points, that there's some substance to it. That if you can talk it, can you walk it? This is what we're getting at. And so we're not personally, if I had to vote for him, I'm gonna vote for him. If I was in his district or in his state, I'll vote for him 1,000 times. If they say he should be Speaker of the House versus Mike Johnson, 1,000 times. But once he's there, I wanna push him to do something. He's like, if you give me the position, hold me accountable. You say, Reagans, we're gonna let you win the 18th district of Houston. We go out there and win it. I can't sit back and not come with a game plan. That's my approach to it. That I want him to have a game plan that's gonna work, or his talking points will never be Trump's talking points. Even though Trump is stupid, Trump is a felon, Trump is doing all kind of crazy stuff, he's getting his talking points from the Heritage Foundation. That has a whole Project 2025, 9,000 pages, what they want to do to everybody, whatever, how many pages it was, whatever many pages it was, while Jeffries there trying to sometimes look like they're trying to wing it. Like, instead of being proactive, they're being reactive. It's knee-jerk and all this. That's what I'm getting at when I'm saying I'm not bashing, but I want them to do the Democrats to do better. So the AOC, in other words, if she's not the Speaker of the House or the minority leader, get in the room with her, Jeffersons. Listen to what she got to say. Come out with her and say, listen, this might sound radical, but this lady has some things we need, because we got to fight radical with radical. That's where I'm going at. So maybe in our discussion, or maybe when I'm expressing myself, it sounds like we're beating him up, but I'm trying to make him do. I'm trying to make him do. Yes, sir. But I appreciate your passion and support him. Yes, I'll take him any day over Trump, anybody. But we got
now. I want to comment.
Fight fire with fire.
Yeah, yes, my comment on that is this, Pastor, is on this caller. I agree with you. I totally wholeheartedly agree with you that we do hold Democrats accountable for their actions and inactions, and most of it is inactions. And the real reason why I say that is because they have so much stuff that they could get on this man on a daily basis, but you don't see nobody from that party jumping up and say, hey, no, you can't do that. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. When Al Green stood up, Representative Al Green stood up and he made that little statement. Nobody got up and walked. Nobody walked out on the president at that time. That was a perfect point early on in the election cycle where you could have said, look, if he's gonna take action, we're gonna follow him out. It may have broke the quorum or whatever, but sometimes you have to do those drastic things to make your point. And I don't see the Democrats making their point the way Trump is. He's dominating the media. He's dominating in every aspect of what he could. Then Trump takes and run outside the United States to keep from facing Epstein questions. But I haven't heard nobody on the Democratic Party call them out for that. So if I'm using Hakeem Jeffries or Schumer for that point, somebody needs to drive it home, because evidently they're not getting it in the Democratic Party. So I'm not apologizing for what I'm saying, because we're not lying, we're telling the truth.
Hey, caller, let me add to that. This is where I have a problem with. Several Democrats, maybe over half of them, maybe most of them, knew that Al Green. You know, they talked about it before then. He said, "Man, look, I'm gonna get up in the middle of speech, and I'm gonna try to disrupt the speech." That's what to say. Look, man, if you're gonna do that, can we get 50 of us? Can we get 100 of us to walk out when you do it? That's what I'm saying. They have to be thorough. If 100 Democrats would have walked out with him, not them escort him out, but he get up and act a fool, and 100 people walk out, that breaks the whole Trump speech. He can't finish even speaking that night. Because the media is focusing on that 100-something Democrats walked out, it disrupted the city, it broke the quorum in the House, and it was chaos, and Trump thing now, what he says is go down the toilet, because it's already in the toilet anyway, but then it goes down the toilet. But they don't plan, they don't plan, they just, a lot of people, they do grandstanding, or they do, quick here, quick there, and then they shut him down and escort him out. But if they would have had 100 of them to get up when he was doing that and walk out, that's what my passion is. If I'm gonna be in a fight, I'm going and fight all. If I'm getting a fight, I'm fighting all the way in. I'm fighting all the way to. I'm coming with everything. I'm coming with everything I got, and that's what I don't think the Democrats do it enough.
Right.
The other thing that I'll tell you about, caller, is look at Jasmine Crockett. We're doing this meeting on gerrymandering the maps. You know who they really trying to get out of there in Tarrant County? They're trying to get Jasmine Crockett out of there, and I can guarantee you that there's some Democrats sitting back. Yeah, we need to let her go. We need to let her go. None of them is coming out in defense of it. This gerrymandering thing that's going on in Texas, in Tarrant County, I see the local officials talking, but I don't see the National Democratic Party saying, "Hey, no, y'all can't do that down in Texas. Y'all not that ain't gonna work." But they don't look at seems like they look at a narrow picture, and once they get focused on that, that's all that they look at. And that's all that they try to go after. So if you think that that's what we're doing, I hope not. We have reasons for what we're doing, and we're trying to get to a point where hopefully somebody in the Democratic Party wake up. Because if you look at the national media, they're not calling them out. They still talking about the election that Kamala Harris lost. So that's where I'm at on this. So, caller, if you have anything else you want to add, you feel free to come in at this time.
No.
Hey, man, look, I'm going to go ahead and
thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hey, Pastor, I appreciate you explaining your point, and I appreciate you, Ron, as well as explaining your position. It's just I was only speaking to what I was hearing, and I've been calling in for probably a couple months now, and that's the feeling I've been getting. I understand your points as well, but that is the impression I've been getting, or the sentiment I've been getting from the way you've been talking about your conversation you've been having. Yeah. So that's the overall impression I've been getting. So thank you for taking my call. And so I'm going to just drop off and just finish listening to the call. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, man, thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in. We really appreciate it, because sometimes we do get carried away, and I'll be the first one to admit it. But it's in love. It's in love, Pastor.
Yeah, I know. I want a guy to call in every week on everybody that wants to call in every week. So, and I'm glad that he was able to listen to what we were saying and see our point of view. I want to say one more thing before he left, but he can hear me now. The Chuck Schumer situation to me is worse than Hakeem Jeffries, because I think Chuck Schumer is from that old school where they do the backroom dealings and dealings.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, but he's by himself now on the Senate side. So he go to the back room and he gonna do some willing and dealing. So listen, I'm not gonna say nothing about what y'all doing if you don't say about doing something. I can really say something. I'm not gonna move against you, really put a big fight up, because down the road I'm gonna need you when I go for my election. I'm gonna need some money from somewhere. That's what I believe. Nothing illegal, but don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat. Lisa Keem Jeffries trying to rock the boat. You just need to be taught how to rock the boat. No,
I agree with you, Pastor. I think AOC, if they let AOC and Jasmine Crockett move.
If every time he went to that microphone, he had AOC on one side and Jasmine Crockett on the other side, and letting them talk with him while he talked, he put out the talking point, and then the reporters start saying stuff, let them start answering stuff, then they'll tear that place up.
Yeah, they'll make some headway. They at least look like they trying to talk for the American people, their representatives. But you know, we get caught up in that decorum.
Yeah,
we get caught up in that. It's not politically correct, or as Nancy Pelosi used to do, make her deals before she even go out there. So when she gets out there, everybody's on her. She knows that she got the Democratic Party.
Yeah, that's what Chuck Schumer does. He makes the deal before he get out there, and that's weak. I'm telling you, if I was a Keem Jefferson, whether I was a Speaker of the House or Minority Leader, every time I stepped to that microphone, I'd have Jasmine Crockett on one side and AOC on the other side. I'd make a general statement of where we're going with this talking point, and then when they open up the microphones, I'll sit back and smile when them ladies tear them up, because that would at least put the Republicans on notice.
Yeah,
like, we own you, and I got these radical or these more active or more loud Democrats. I got their back, and I'm the good cop. If you don't listen to what I gotta say, these are bad ones.
Yeah, and that's what we want Keem Jeffries to do. Give them a voice, and like you say, Pastor, as they say, put them people out there that's gonna jump back and give them a response. Maybe not the response that you would give them, but the response that the American people can see and say, "Hey, I agree with that. That's what we need." I'm gonna jump all the way to number 3 on this, and that's the most important thing out of everything that we've been talking about tonight. The impact of the voter credibility. Gerrymandering gives you the perception that they can just do whatever they want to. And it's not necessarily that they can do whatever they want to. They do manipulate the maps to favor them, but don't ever lose your don't ever stop voting. Don't ever just make this statement. Don't make this statement. I don't want to vote because it don't make a difference. Your vote makes a difference. And that's the reason why I want it. That's the reason why we try to educate. We try to walk you through a slow process. And just like the caller came on and he expressed, well, I've been listening to you for a while, and I think that you bashing the Democratic Party. If you feel that way and you're out there, make the call. And it's a delay. I just figured it out, Pastor. It's a delay before they can actually talk. And by the time they start talking, we're talking too. So maybe we have to give them a little time. But go ahead, Pastor.
It's the FCC 7-second rule. Because if you're on live radio for real, if they say something that needs to be cut out, like a cuss word or something, you got that 7-second delay.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Right. Okay,
so don't get discouraged. And Glass, I'm sorry we didn't get you on in time. I know that you got into something else, but I want to read this. And then, Pastor, I'm going to give it to you. The perceived hypocrisy undermines the voter and erodes the public trust. Consistency and transparency are the fundamental to credibility. We have to do a better job of communication. We have to stay on focus, on point, while being able to look at what's going on in even Texas, Louisiana, and anywhere else that they plan on doing. Because I even heard California, and like Pastor say, New Jersey, saying that they was going to offset whatever moves that Trump was making by trying to do some redistricting on their end. But if we keep doing that, guess what happens? We all should be worried about the voter. Mm-hmm. The voter. Because if the voter don't get out and vote, all of that redistricting, remapping, and bashing and all the rest of it ain't gonna amount to a hill of beans. So, Pastor, with that being said, I'm gonna give it to you. We ran over tonight. I'm gonna give it to you. I hope most of all they gotta understand it.
I don't think we ran over it. It's not 9 o'clock yet, but I know
okay. Good. We ain't over, Pastor, because I don't have my
It's 8:49. It's 8:49.
Okay.
Yeah, but here's the deal. That 2019 Supreme Court case said one statement that sticks with everything. One person, one vote. One person, one vote. So they redistrict your area, however they redistrict it, wherever they want you to vote at, go vote. One person, one vote. So in actuality, because Louisiana, I think Texas has 36 districts, maybe. Texas and Louisiana has what, 6? It's not the districts that vote. It's not going to be 6 votes from Louisiana. It's how many people that go out there and vote. If 1 million people vote, guess what? That's 1 million votes. No matter what district they're in. In Texas, 30 million people that live in Texas. But as far as voters, because you know how it is in Texas, I mean, voting, only 12% of people vote anyway. So if 3 million people vote in Texas, if 500,000 people vote in Louisiana, whatever it might be, one person, one vote. So no one should get discouraged because they're playing with maps and computers and AI and redistricting and redrawing. Still go vote. One person, one vote.
I'm glad you brought up the AI, Pastor, because I want to segue right into this next part. AI is here. It's here to stay. But trust me, they got people reading their history into AI. It's people out there that's formulating AI. And AI is like a snowball going downhill. It's picking up speed. It's learning as it goes, and it's getting bigger and bigger. We need to make sure that we're included in that portion of the conversation by the things that we do. We need to get our people involved in the AI as much as possible. I try to do my little part by adding videos when I want to go out there. I go into Note GPT and add videos into it to kind of give it a different perspective and add our words and our likeness in there. Because if we don't do it, we're gonna be back to where Pastor said we was. It's his history, not our history. It's his history. And we have to keep on doing that.
It'll be his story, not our story.
Yeah. And I remember Pastor saying that, but in this digital age and time, I was listening to one of the media shows that's out there. What's your girl, Pastor, on urban radio?
Karen Hunter.
Karen Hunter, one of the things that she said maybe about a week ago, and it caught my attention, especially in this time of AI. She said that they're having people read stories, like stories, Black stories, into AI, and adding that story into there. And I thought that, and when I heard that, I was like, wait, that's not making no sense. She even says that she's reading, she was going to start reading into AI.
Let me tell you why. There's a book list banned in Florida. Book lists like Beloved, Color Purple, Rolling Thunder, Hear My Cry, Uncle Tom's Cabin, Sounder. All these books about Black authors, Black writers. Why does the cage bird sing? By Angel Menino. All the books are being banned for libraries. So if you got one in your house, read into AI so it becomes part of the record.
Yeah.
You get it?
Because if we don't, guess what? We're going to get left out again. It's going to be his history. And while we're here,
it'll be his story.
His story. I'm sorry, Pastor.
His story.
I'm glad you're here because I butchered that. Yeah. His story. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Instead of history, Pastor said his story. So, and I want to tell you that's a wealth of knowledge sitting on the screen next to me. I know you see me on the left-hand side, but look at Pastor on the right. He will bring it to you where you can understand it. And that's the reason why we have him here, so he can break it down. And pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to the media. Pay attention to the stories that's going to make a difference, because they really doing their best to boot Jasmine Crockett out. But it's a couple of, I'm going to say this and I'm going to give it to Pastor so he can close this out, and then we'll talk about we can talk about whatever he wants to talk about before we get out of here. But it's a couple of Democrats that's out there trying to do the same thing to Jasmine Crockett because she doesn't fall in line. She doesn't meet their criteria what a person. Anytime I can't tell you what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and how far to jump, you're gonna get primary. Right. And they're doing that, Pastor.
Yeah. See, and Ron, I appreciate you complimenting my efforts. People like Jasmine Crockett, AOC, people like that. Whatever stuff I know, they know all of it, but even more. You know why? They some of them are lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
They're political students. They know even the depth and all the different backgrounds way beyond what I know. We need them. See, when they give a 15-second soundbite of them on TV, that's 15 hours or something behind that they really can talk about. But our media is all about sound bites and flashes. So we got a show like this. We need more people like that on these kind of shows. You know, they could come on a podcast and they probably do something, but more people get exposed like Karen Hunter. Karen Hunter, man, like I said, she's been on there maybe 8 years now, Urban Review Radio. I think I've been listening to her since 2016. The lady is on point. On point. The guy that died, it was on there for like 30 years.
Joe Madison.
Joe Madison, the Black Eagle. God, man, I thought I knew stuff from my grandfather. I used to listen to him every morning on the way to work.
And he didn't hold no punches either.
Oh, he didn't hold no punches, and he was raw. He cussed so much that they raised money for charity, the swear jar they call it, because he's gonna tell it like it is. And then he wasn't just talking crazy, that's just saying cuss words just to say it. He'll be in the middle of a passionate statement like I am, but his passion would lead him to saying something I've been saying while he's saying it. But then say, I'm trying to put it where the goats get it, which means he wanted to put it down on the lowest level. And then he would say this, always listen with a third ear, which meant you heard something, then you listen to what you heard, but the third ear is know why what's happening, why they're doing what they're doing. That's the third ear. And that's why I often try to bring out the why people are doing what they're doing. And when I go all the way back to the history and try to bring all the way back through the day and then project into the future of why people are doing what they're doing. Like I say, Trump's biggest thing is he just want to make money. He wants the power and the glory. He wants a Nobel Peace Prize. He wants racism to abound. But everything else behind that is the Heritage Foundation. Project 2025. That's a lot worse than Trump. Because we could see Trump. We can't see all the actors, all the characters, all the money, and all the power that's wrapped up in the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025.
And not just him, but his family is making behind the scenes by him being the president, giving people access to him while he's in the office. And see, the last time Trump ran, he wasn't as educated as he is this time. He didn't have the people that he appointed last time in office, because a lot of them people was out for self-gain and they were trying to just trying to do stuff a little bit different. But these people, they're people that's ahead of companies and been out there for a while. They know how to manipulate the system, and each and every one of them that he has appointed is manipulate the system to their favor. I wouldn't be surprised. I want to know how many billionaires come out after Trump is out of office. How many billionaires were created while he was in office? Pastor, I'm going to give it to you, and I just want to say I enjoyed the show. I hope y'all can go back and listen to the points in which you missed, or if you didn't understand it next week or something that we say that we put out, call in. Now that we know there's a delay, we're learning week by week as we go on. And Glass, I'm sorry that, and Byron Glass, I'm going to say I'm sorry I missed your call. But, man, we sure miss you doing this show, because I had it set up for you and Pastor to kind of identify that map. But Pastor did something. I'm going to have to put legends on I'm going to have to get the legend, find a legend for every map that I put up. So I'm accountable too. So, Pastor, with that being said, I'm going to give it to you, and you take it where you want to.
Yeah, all right. Hey, guys, we're glad to be on tonight. We're glad that we were able to talk about gerrymandering, talk about the political system. But what's really we're pointing towards, Baron Glass says this often, if we do not take control of Congress, the House and the Senate, in the midterm election in 2026, we leave Trump unchecked for the remainder of his presidency, our country may be in deep trouble. Because who says that 2028 election is going to be a fair election, or even election at all, if he's not checked? Who says we want to go to a major war? Because he has nothing to lose now. He wouldn't have anything to lose. you see, as a second-term president? Who says what bounds of corruption may happen? Where that 14th Amendment that the Supreme Court has given rights about, that he can say, listen, natural citizenship is not a right. So now any Hispanic group, Asian group, or African-American group that he wants to send back to a country or send out of the country, even though they're born in this country, who says? It might sound like I'm exaggerating, but we got to put check on him. And that's why it's important to know why gerrymandering is an issue. We're gonna do we do what we call prayer as we leave, because I believe God is in everything. I believe God's in everything. A church congregation has 4 walls to it where they meet, but the congregation itself operates outside the 4 walls. And the church that Christ built operates worldwide. And even in our political discussion and political discourse, and our ways to get involved in this community, we want to put God first. And so we thank you, Lord, for this day, for your blessings, for our health and strength, for our mental and intellectual capabilities, for our passion, for our drive, even the caller that called in, and those who listen, those who make comments, because we want to be able to impact our community, our city, and our world. We leave this platform and not your presence. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Thank God, thank God, thank God. And I'm just going to tell you, Byron, we miss you. We look forward to you next week. And I know what Pastor, I know what he would say. Pastor, did you find that suit?
I told you.
Good night, everybody. We're going to get out of here. Y'all take care. We enjoy it.
We'll fight in October. Hopefully October when pink people start.